This is Sprocket 314, and today we're going to do a different type of format. I'm going to be presenting a number of data. I've been crunching numbers for Keyforge, and I want here to show you the results. So everything started when I was preparing for my machine learning algorithm, and I was formatting the data from all of the decks that have competed in tournaments, official chain-bound tournaments, vault tours, anything that is an official tournament. And then I was very curious to know how bait and switch and another cards are related to winning or losing. And I did a post in the Facebook group, and it got quite a lot of a big of a response. And I saw that there was a hunger for more. And then I created a more detailed analysis. And then I got a lot of comments and people telling me, they found the information useful, or lots of people saying, well, it's not relevant, or of course, shadows is very good, and all these kind of things, which is great for the discussion. But then it left me thinking about a number of questions. So one of them is, what are the most popular houses? No, so everybody knows that there are shadows is the favorite, and maybe Mars or Brobnar or Sanctum are the least popular ones. But is it true? Does the data back up those claims? Let's see. And also, which houses make you win the most? This is a more interesting question. So what I did was try to get more serious, and I actually went through all of the data, and basically I analyzed 47,977 games as per the Master Vault API data. And what I did is I took all those pretty much 48,000 games, and I analyzed which of those games included which houses. And I have a look also about how many wins, how many losses these houses had. So, and then once I got the number of wins and losses per house, um, so just to be clear here, okay? Because I'm going to be showing some numbers. What I mean is that every deck has three houses, right? So I took for every single deck three. Uh, each one of those houses is going to be represented in multiple decks, right? So let's give you an example. So the least popular house is Mars, and only 12,990 games included Mars as one of the houses involved. So that was number 7. So let's go to number 6, and you can see that the second least favorite is Brobnar, and there is almost 5,000 and a half games, fewer games in Mars than in Brobnar. And then we keep on going to Sanctum, and Sanctum 17,583 included Sanctum as one of the houses. And then we go to Untamed, it's a big boost onto 20,000. And then number 3 is Logos, it's still 20,917, so not that much difference. And you can guess what's going to be number 2 and what's going to be number 1, right? But how much difference is going to be? So the second most favorite popular or preferred house is this. It's 23,329. And I can see here, this is fantastic for control. No? They're famous for control. So this is clearly favored by many because it gives you that extra amount of control. And then obviously we have shadows, and you can see, whoa, right. It's incredible the amount of popularity that shadows has. You can see that 32,546 of those 47,977 games had the house shadows. That's almost, omniscient. I mean, appearing in every single game, right? So the key thing here is if you add up all these, if you add up all these 32,000, 23,000, 20,000, 20,000, blah, 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 you're going to have three times for, and you add all of that and you divide it by three, because every deck has three, it will give you exactly 47,977, right? So you will see that the data adds up. Okay, so this is not a very big surprise, but let's go to the next statistic, right? Which houses win the most? So let's have a look if you think you're right. Will they match up to the most favorite ones? Let's see. With the number 7, we have Bropnar, is the least favorite of all. So before number 7 was Mars. So Mars is the least popular, but the one that is making you win the least is Bropnar. But by how much? Next is Untamed. What a surprise, right? You would expect Mars to be around here, but clearly it's not the case. You can see that the total number of wins is 13,000, and but the total number of losses is 6,000, 6.3 thousand. So Untamed is the second last. That's quite was quite a bit of a shock for me. And this is the data with no mixing. I haven't removed any data. This is as it is. It's as is in the master vault. Next one is Sanctum, and I want to direct your interest to the percentage of winning. Okay, because the percentage of winning is very, very significant here, that there is almost no difference, right? It's important that you understand that between Brobnar and Untamed, yes, if you total the number of matches, Brobnar you can see is less popular than Untamed, right? But it has not that much difference in terms of winning, okay? So that's the next one. And then we have Logos. Logos, my favorite, or one of my favorites, right? Is the amount of popularities. You can see if you add it all up, it will be the previous slide that I presented to you, 20,000, 20.8K, no? And the amount of the winning ratio is actually not that much different from Sanctum or even as Brobnar. How about the top three? Let's go for top three. Top three. Number three is Mars. Mars was the second least loved house, but it actually winning pretty well. It's winning quite a lot. It's number three, but still the difference is minimal. You can see if you add up the number of wins and losses is like 13K, 13,000. So very few matches. It's not very popular. People are not choosing Mars. However, it's winning quite a lot. So some love to Mars. You need to give some more love to Mars. Number two, will it be this or will it be Shadows? It is this. It is this. So you can see here, it's still 68.73. And it's very highly popular, as you can see. It's 23K, right? Really, really high. And then Shadows, and you can see Shadows is tremendously popular with basically 30, 31, 31K games. But the winning ratio, it does go up 0.6% compared to number two, 0.6% more winnings. And compared to the lowest is 1.09, 1.09% more than Brobnar. So that would make it Shadows this Mars as the best combination. But then I was left like, okay, how about all the possible combinations? Which combination? Because there are 35 combinations. So let's have a look. So what are the most popular house combinations? What are people playing the most? So if we start from the bottom, we see that the least favorite combination is Brobnar Mars Sanctum. That's no surprise at all. It has only 429 games of all those 40 plus 48,000 games. Only 429 games had this combination of Brobnar Mars Sanctum. and the winning ratio was 69%. 69%. So if you look, Brobnar Mars Untamed is 67. If you go to Logos Mars Sanctum, it's only 65% winning rate. So actually, the least popular combination, Brobnar Mars Sanctum, people are missing out because you could be winning 69% of the time. Let's keep going up the rank. So here we keep on going. This, remember, this is only but based on popularity, on how many people are using it. It would be it's basically based on games played, games played. You can see already here 71.06. So this is a good combination of Brobnar, Logos, Sanctum. Okay, so let's keep going to the next segment. And in the next segment, you can see, obviously there's still no shadows to be seen here, but you can see that the winning ratio, there's no 70s here, even though they're in the top of the second half of the 35 combinations. So still Brobnar Logo Sanctum is outperforming everybody on the second half of the rank. Well, let's keep on going, let's keep on moving. And we can see here the first shadows, right? Because there are 17 combinations, I think 16 or 17 combinations of shadows. And there are many combinations of shadows, but clearly you can still see some of them here. Brobnar Mars shadows is not very popular, right? And you can start seeing here these Mars shadows, 71.54%, right? That's the most effective so far. Um, but let's go into the top 10. Top 10, you can see shadows, 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 shadows. Everything is shadows. And you can see we cannot go any higher than these Mars shadows. So far, so good. But how about the top 5? Are you ready? So top 5, we have as number 5, Brobnartis Shadows, then Logo Shadows Untamed, then these Sanctum Shadows with Sanctum number 3 on popularity, and then these Shadows Untamed. This Shadows Untamed is pretty quick. I would say it's quite a quick deck, and it has a winning ratio of 70.51. So if let's look at the most popular combination, and the most popular combination is this Logos Shadows. These Logos Shadows, no surprises there, but there is no Nepenthe seed, right? Nepenthe seed is in Untamed, and here there's no Logos. Obviously, there is not that many decks that have Nepenthe seed, no lands, no library access, and Nepenthe seed. There's not much. If we go to Nepenthe seed, so this one, number 4, rank number 4, it would be the typical lands, right? Logos, Untamed, Shadows. That would be the favorite for everyone, right? You can steal a lot with Shadows. You have the library access with Logos, and then you have the Nepenthe seed key charge, Shota Hasri in Untamed. But still is number 4 in popularity. A little bit of a surprise. Still, these Mars Shadows have the upper end, 71.54%. Right. This comes to the end and the most important or more interesting part of today's episode. Which house combinations of the 35 win the most? I already told you the answer, but hopefully you have forgotten already. So there you go. So the worst at the moment, and this is the state of the meta, the worst combination is Brobnar Logos Untamed with only 64.90% win. You can see that the number of games, total number of games, is fairly low, it's 889. Not as low as Logos Mars Sanctum, right? And Logos Mars Sanctum, you can see, is like a hidden gem because very few people doing it, but it's still outperforming Brobnar Logos Untamed. Okay, let's keep going. And here, still we don't see any shadows. That means that shadows is performing pretty well. And I think the best one is the one at the top, right? So it's number 24. It's Brobnar Mars Untamed. Nothing really. Ah, look at this. Brobnar Mars Shadows. So there is a shadows already this low, 66.67%. So there you go. You can see because it's very popular, 1,074 games. and it's the first, the least liked, well, the least successful shadows combination. Let's go to the next one. And then we start seeing here improvement, obviously, in the win ratio because it's all ordered by win ratio. And you can see Brobnar, these shadows, is at the top. And you can still see 2,500 games already. So this is like a quite popular combo. Obviously, this and shadows is quite popular. Brobnar, not so much. Let's keep on moving. There you go, just below the top 10. So we can see here uh, loads and loads of games played. You can see total number of games here, almost 2,000. This one is almost 4,000. So these logo shadows, by the way, these logo shadows, I think it's my favorite, right? It's my favorite combination, and it's only number 15. Okay, so big surprise for me. I was really shocked when I saw this. Number 15, my favorite one. So maybe I should be looking at a different deck. Very interesting, very interesting. Um, okay, so let's go into the top 10. Yep, let's go. There you go, top 10. So you can see it's getting more popular with the number of games going already in 2000s. And you can see this one, Logos Mars Shadows, it has a low count. So it's not very popular. People are not using it. However, it has very high ranking, a very high, nice way of winning. It's number 7, and it's only 1,400 games. So this is something to look at. Logos Mars Shadows is a combination that I would suggest to explore a little bit more. You can have a look. Are you ready? Before we go into the top 3, okay? Top 3, these Shadows Untamed. These Shadows Untamed. That makes sense. It would be quite a good control deck. I love control. And we have also, yeah, I already talked about Logo Shadows Untamed. Logo Shadows Untamed would be a typical library access Nepenthe seed. Library access Nepenthe seed with shadows, right? So this one, surprisingly, it is very popular, you can see, 2,800 games, but still number 8. So it's not as bad as people put it. It's very flashy to lose by lands, but you know it's not that it's not happening that often. Okay, so this is number 3. Number 3 is Brobnar. Brobnar. I repeat this, Brobnar. Okay, Brobnar. Brobnar is number 3, mates. Number 3, and this is reflected in here. The number of games played is 614. 614 is like super low. You can see that people do not do not use Brobnar much. And also Mars. People are not using Mars, and Mars is pretty good. If you have a good Mars deck, it's almost unbeatable. So this is a hidden gem combination that you should try out more. Brobnar this Mars mathematically is number 3. It's winning you 71.01% of the time. And it's not very popular at the moment. It's a hidden gem. Have a look. Number 2 is Brobnar Logos Sanctum. Brobnar, again, Brobnar, Brobnar Logos Sanctum. Very unpopular, 705, and it's 71.06%. It's the second rank. So, guys, have a look at your, if you have many, like me, I have 28 decks at the moment, and I ordered two displays more for Age of Ascension. But guys, this is a hidden gem as well. Brobnar Logo Sanctum, get them to use it, Have a look at your decks that you have in a corner, give them some love. And are you ready for the final moment? Number 1 combination. Just by elimination, you could mentally do the math, but clearly, this Mars Shadows is the top one, is the best of the best at the moment in the meta. This Mars Shadows is my best deck is this Mars Shadows. My best deck is Igor, and it's a epic control game deck. I presented it in my episode number 12 on my videos, and this Mars Shadows definitely is my best one. And you can see it is fairly popular, but nowhere near as popular as these other ones. Look at this one. This logo shadows 4,000, mate. This one is also sort of like a hidden gem. So remember these three combinations. And what are the similarities, okay? Two Brobnars, two this, two Mars, only one shadows, mate, only one shadows, only one sanctum. This is surprising to me. Shadows is in the top, that's not surprising, but in the top three, only one shadows here. So shadows is not so good. You should, you know, okay, it's pretty good. Okay, I will confess, but you have other combinations to explore. Have a look at Brobnar Logo Santo. Have a look at Brobnar this Mars. So I hope you enjoyed this. So if you like it, please like and subscribe. Do the little bell to get notifications when I have a new video out. And it would be really good if you can subscribe. It helps me out, and it costs you nothing. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. This was Sprocket 314, and I hope you have a good time. Leave me comments at the bottom, and yeah, see you next week.